Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the modding corner, and today we're going to be showing you how to combine two outfits in Xenoverse to modding. Now let's get started. So, on screen should be a list of all of the applications and stuff you need to do this. You're going to need EMB pack, you're going to need EMD to FBX, and you're going to need the XML serializer, and so on and so forth. And you're definitely going to need Blender. So, once you have all of these applications and all the files that you need set up, we're going to start the tutorial there. So, step one, what you're going to want to do is import your EMD files to FBX. So in order to do that, you're going to want to grab your ESK file and your EMD file and put them into the EMD FBX, and it should come out as a 3D object. So once you have your 3D objects ready, you're going to want to do that for each and every one of the outfits that you're trying to combine, and make sure that you do this or else it's not going to work. Combine it with the ESK. Make sure you put both the ESK and EMD in there at once, or else it's not going to come out right. So once you have all of your models as a 3D object, what you're going to want to do is open up Blender and import the 3D objects into Blender. You're going to want to delete the little cube so that's not in your way. So after that, we'll move on to step 2. So yeah, guys, once you get your model ready, what you're going to want to do is just edit and delete all the materials and stuff that you plan on not using. So for this outfit, for example, I just want the necklace, so I'm going to delete everything around the necklace. And once I'm done, I'm going to merge the two materials left. That way it is one material. Then once you get whatever you need from your outfit, you're going to want to import the next FBX that you're using. And once that imported, you're basically going to want to do the same thing. In this case, I'm getting rid of this jacket because I want the arms out. And I'm going to get rid of the neck too, because the other thing I'm using comes with its own neck. So after that, you're going to want to do some basic scaling, just going around the model, touching it, and making sure there's no any weird foamy bits sticking out of the outfit or anything. You can do that with the scale index around the corner of Blender. So basically at this point, once you get all the materials you're looking for set up and in there, just go around and clean it up and make it look nice. And then after that, you should be ready to export your model. A rule of thumb before you export your model, I like to delete all of the extra nonsense, because what you're going to want to do is just keep the bone and your material. So whatever materials is under the bone, keep that and just delete anything else. All these extra lines and whatnot you're not going to need, and just clean it up so that way it doesn't create any extra EMD files that you may or may not need. So once you do that, you're going to want to take the skeleton of the material you're using. Also get rid of any of those numbers and whatnot to make things more consistent with the EMM. So once you've done that, take the bone that you're using and scale it down to 0.0110. You could just put 0.01 in the scale X for the skeleton, and that'll scale it down to be the size that you need for Xenoverse. So once you have the scale done, you're going to want to highlight the skeleton again, press A to highlight all, and then export as an FBX. So after that, you're going to want to find the folder that you want to put the FBX file in. As you can see here, it's taking me a while to find it, so that's why it's like that. And then you're going to want to put in the correct operator preset. So just match what you see on screen here, and it should be the right size for you to put into Xenoverse. And then after that, you can name the file whatever you want. I just leave mine as untitled, because I can always change it later. But after that, export your FBX, and then you should be ready to move on to the next step. And it should say whatever material that you had it listed as. What I want you to do is rename it to HUM 10,000, or whatever race that you plan on using this outfit for, the 3-letter code that applies to your race. So after that, I'm going to need to create 2 different folders. HUM 10,000 bust and HUM 10,000 bust period DYT. And these are going to be where you're going to put your textures and your colors. So once you do that, what we're going to need to do is go into the other EMD folders from the other outfits and grab what you need from there, whatever materials that were on the outfit that you merged, and grab that from there and put it into your new 10,000 bust EMB. Another thing you definitely want to make sure of is the EMB file XML has enough entries for whatever material you're trying to combine. So if you need a bunch of data entries, data 00, data 001, data 002, make sure you have your EMB files. You can open that using Notepad++ and make sure it has enough indexes and data to use those different materials. So once you have your EMB folder together and ready to go, what you're going to want to do is take the EMB folder you've been editing, the 10,000 one, and put it right back into EMB pack v2 or whatever EMB pack that you're using, and it should create an EMB file. So next we're going to move on to the DYT. These are your colors. I will put on the screen now what these mean and how you can change them, so feel free to pause the video so you know where your colors are at. It's like a whole system. So once you have your color set up, I honestly just recommend copying whichever one has like 4 or more color lines to use, because that's what you're typically going to be using for your custom colorable colors if you're doing this for CAC, or if you're just making the colors stand up from the DYT, that's what you're going to be using from there. So once you have your DYT folder set up in the 10,000 DYT folder, do the exact same thing you did with the EMB folder and put it in the EMB pack 2. So next thing you're going to want to do is edit your EMM. Now for this, I recommend taking the EMM of whatever you use that has the most materials. Materials are the things you'll see in Blender. Again, I'll put that on the screen here so you know what they are, and use that as a base, and then open it up with the XML serializer and add on to it. So basically, whenever you add on to it, you're going to want to go under the material line, just make a new row, copy what you see here up to down to that material line, and then paste it, and make sure your number index matches up after whatever you're using. As far as I know, there's no limit to this, even though I wouldn't recommend going over like 10 or whatever, just to be safe. If you want, you can delete the old EMM files that aren't being used and replace it with the new ones, but either way, as long as it looks like this at the end, you shouldn't have any issues. Then once you're done, you're going to want to put your EMM XML into the XML serializer, and it should turn it back into an EMM file. So the next thing you're going to want to do is turn your EMD file into an XML. So what you're going to want to do is put your EMD file, the one that you've created, into the XML serializer, and then that'll become its own XML. Then you're going to want to open that, Alt 0, so that way everything is smaller. Then you're going to want to open it until you see the texture sampler depths, and then open that, and where it says texture index, you're going to want to edit the number of it to whatever data entry that you're using. So anything that goes from 0 to whatever you want that material, so that's how your textures are going to appear. So if you want to just double check, just have your Blender open on the side so you know where this should go, where that should go. And once you have all your numbers set up, you can save and do the exact same thing you did with the EMM file. Just save the XML, put it back in the serializer, and then it should be your new EMD. So the next step after this, the last step, time to open up the costume creator. Bonus tip for people who want their outfits to be colorable in the customizer, you're gonna want to use this tool here called the automatic coloring tool. Load up your EMN texture and look at the material names. As you see, it'll show you a DYT preview of what DYTs it's going to be using. So you can just click on whatever material that you want to be colorable in Xenoverse, click make CC, and assign a number to it. So it goes from 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's what you're gonna see in Xenoverse. So 1 is 0, 2 is 1, like 3 is 2, and so on and so forth. So when most files start from 0, but you know, in Xenoverse it starts 1, 2, 3, but it'll be something that you'll quickly get used to. So once you're done with that, you're going to want to save your texture, and it should be ready for the X2M. Also, you should make a X2M folder and put all of your files in there. That way you can use that in the costume creator. So once you're in the costume creator, you're going to want to give your outfit a name, have the author be under your name, and give it a GUID. Then in the files, you're going to want to open your files and find the folder that you put all of your stuff into. That way it'll pull from there. Then after that, you're going to go into these race files and just grab whichever race that you plan on using this outfit for. And then where it says par sets, par IDs, right now we're using the bus, so just copy from the game just an empty bust or whatever, take away all the other entries that won't be used in the outfit you're making, and then whatever you have left, change the numbers to it to 10,000 so it'll match with the bust you have and the wraith you have. It should look something like, I'm gonna put it on screen here, it should look something like this. That way you can try to like kind of match it up with mine. And yeah, after that, you're going to want to go into the IDB. This is how it'll look in the shop. You can just copy it from any skill or whatever that has like a top, and that way you can just name it, name the description, and then you'll be ready to save it. So save your costume, and it should be ready to go as an X2M. Once it's ready to go into the X2M, open up your mod installer and install it, and just like that, it should be ready to go. After that, you're going to want to boot up Xenoverse. All right, so once you're finally in Xenoverse, what you're going to want to do is simply just go to the clothing shop.
We have nice new items in stock.
You sure do. And then find whatever outfit you made. Here's mine. Buy it. And just put that shit on. So yeah, it's just like that, it's done. So yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial video. You know, like, comment, subscribe, all that other generic YouTuber stuff. I don't know how to do outros. If you want me to do like any more tutorials, just say so in the comments and I'll let you know if I could do that. If you know anyone needs any help or whatnot, just leave a comment and I'll help you out with it or whatever. So yeah, like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe for more modding shit. See ya.